Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, I'll show you 5 simple step framework to work with any API. Once you understand these 5 steps, you can use almost any API as a data engineer. Alright, so let's see what is an API. An API is a way for two systems to communicate over the internet. So let's take the analogy of the waiter. You go to a restaurant, you request for a food, the waiter will go to the kitchen and bring the food for you. So in this scenario, you see you are the client and the waiter is the API. The waiter will go to the kitchen and the kitchen is a server and bring the food for you. That food is basically the data that you request for. You ask the API query the request, the server send it back to you in different format, mostly the JSON format. So the 5 step I was talking about is the base URL, the endpoint, the parameter, the auth token, and the request. Let's quickly say it. What is the base URL? The base URL is the root address of any API. It's kind of like the fixed point, the starting point of the API. In this one, you can see just like you have a room, a building that has the one entrance, and that entrance you see it as a base URL. In that building, you have many rooms, and that rooms is the endpoint. All right, so here we can see that we have just our base URL here, and this is our endpoint. And the endpoints can depend on how the API is built or is documented. And you can go to documentation of the API and make sure to read it and understand what are the endpoint for your API. That's why it is very important to read the documentation of your API before starting working with the API. As for our example, you're going to be taking the GitHub REST API, and we're going to be exploring it and try to hit it and create our token and everything at the end of this video. All right, what is the parameter? The parameter can be optional, but for the real world, you will need to use the parameters because you will need to filter your thing or maybe sorting it, and after maybe limiting the result. We have 3 type of parameters. We have the query parameters, we have the path parameter, and the body parameter that we're not gonna be using for this example. All right, so we have you can see here that this is the base URL. This is the endpoint, and the query parameter started with the question mark, and everything after this is the query parameter. You can see that the page 1 and this is the ampersand sign, means that if you want to combine many parameters at the same time, you can combine with the end. So let's see what is the path parameter. For our example, this link here, we don't have the path parameter here, but let's go back to the previous slide, and we can see that this is the path parameter. Like we're trying to get the users where the ID is equal to this. You pass the ID here, and this is the path parameter. All right, so let's go to the authentication. What is an authentication? Authentication is just the way of asking if you can be able to enter or to get the API. So if the API reply with the response of 401, means that you are unauthorized and you need to check your token. All right, so the most common method that we use is a barrier token, but we have many others, but the one that I really use is a barrier token. All right, so most important, don't share your API token. If you share it, the person will be able to hit your API. Let's combine all this together, and we have like we're going to be using Python, and we using the GitHub REST API, and create the token, generate the token, and get it and trying to hit it. All right, so but first let's see what's the status code that we have. We have the many status code, like we have the OK with 200, created with 201, battery request 400, and the server error, which is for 500. But most of the case, I really get the 200, or maybe the bad request 400 and the server down 500. All right. So for our example, let's explore this here. You can see that we have our base URL. That is very good. You need to identify the base URL and our endpoint here. And when we combine the base URL with the endpoint, we have the full URL. So we have the parameters, we have the header, and you're going to be using the request to get it. So most of the time, as a data engineer, you'll be using the get function to work with your API. All right. So as I was saying, for the example, we're going to be using the REST API for GitHub to do the demo. All right. Okay. Back to the demo. Here we're going to be using the GitHub REST API to apply these 5 steps using the base URL, endpoint, parameters, the auth, and the full URL. All right. So let's back to our terminal. I'm using the all right, so let's quickly create a folder like put it like API, city to API, and let's quickly open in our VS Code to see. Yep. Okay. All right, cool. So what we need to do here, we need to create just 2 files. One, the env, and the second is going to be our main file, like our Python script that has that going to hit the GitHub endpoint. All right, so let's just do it here. You can create a main file, and the second one you create the env. Okay, here we have 2 things to install. Let's just open our terminal from down here, and okay, so what we need to do here is first, I don't want to install those things in the same environment, like in my base environment. I want to install it in different environment to avoid the confidence bias. All right, so let's do the conda. I'm using conda. Create, and the name of my environment, I will just put the API in like env, and I also want to install the Python in like 3.10, and like that is it. So the environment is going to be created, and after this you're going to activate the environment. After activating the environment, we now need to install the request to call our API in the Python .env to secure our token that will be generated in the GitHub REST API. All right, so let's go copy this one, and all right, to copy something in the terminal, you just do Control Shift and C, paste it here and activate it. Okay, after activating it, I need to install the request. So the request and the Python .env. Okay, after installing this, the next step that we need to do, we're not going to write the script yet. The script is going to be just like not more than 10 lines. It's something that is very, very fast. And first of all, let's go to do tower in our GitHub API. All right, so here is the link. So you just go here, like you type GitHub REST API doc, you will just get it. When you go there, you do the documentation. But first of all, let me show you how you can generate the token in GitHub. So if you have a GitHub account, you can generate the GitHub. So if you don't have any GitHub account, you should just go and create a GitHub account. It's free and can get it. All right, so let's go to the settings. From the settings, you should go to developer settings. From here, you can see the personal access tokens. From personal access token, you click on token classic. And from this one, you can see the generate here. Go to generate the classic one. And after this, they will require you to put a node. And you can put a node like I put mine as a testing API, and you can put the expiration date. All right, so you can select all this to be able to access things. All right, so after doing this, you should just generate it. That's it. It will require you to put your password, and you just put it and generate it. After generating it, make sure to copy it and put it in the safe place, because you will not be able to see it after. All right, so after generating the token, save it, and you come here, go to the GitHub API, and if you see there, just see the documentation. In the documentation, let me just go here. Okay, about the REST API. No, let me just open another one here. So this. Okay, so you go to the quick start, or maybe you're getting started with the REST API. You go here, you can see the method is kind of like the get and post and delete and put everything. And what we need here is the path. This path is actually our endpoint that we will be hitting it. All right, you can see that this is the endpoint of the API. So you have the repo, the owner, this you have to get the issue, and we have more and more. So let's go to this one. From this one, we can see the base URL we have it. All right, so second time load. All right, so you can see here that they're trying to hit using the curl. You can see from this one to here, this is our base URL, and from here to this now our parameter, or our endpoint. All right, so you're gonna be doing this not in the terminal, but we're gonna be doing this in our code, like using the script, and to see how it looks. Okay, back to our VS Code. We put it in this env, we put our token that we generated. So let's quickly do it. This is our token, but don't worry, I'll be deleting this token, but you should put your own token that you generated here. Okay, I'll be deleting this after this video, don't worry. All right, so in our main.py file here, we're going to be importing the request and the OS and the .env. Okay, let's do it. So import request. So as you can see that I'm speeding all my work using the Copilot. We also import not the JSON but OS. All right, so I will also need to import the .env. Okay, so after doing this, I need to load the .env. After loading, now this is calling get access to our env here. So let me go here. I think the name is not matching, so let's go here back and take it and use it here. All right, so after having this, you need to get our base URL. I'm not going to create any function here, but for the real world example, you should just be creating the function, maybe the class, to work with your API. All right, so for this one, I'm going to be using like the base URL. Like, you need to know the base URL for this GitHub REST API. The base URL is api.github.com. And after this, I will provide like I'll be using 3 or 2 endpoints for this demo, like endpoint 1, like the user and the repo. The first one, put it here. Endpoint 1, endpoint 2. It's going to be not this one, but the one in owner and the repo. The repo, like I will just need to put this one, the repo and the issues. That is it. For the endpoint 3, it should be the same, but like not the pool, but maybe the commits. Okay, that is it. After having this, we need to get like the full URL, which is the base URL plus this one from the endpoint. So I'll go first for the endpoint 1. After we'll come back, use the endpoint 2, endpoint 3, and we'll also be using the params. All right, so for this one, we also need to use the params, but for the moment, I'll leave it as an empty dictionary. And after this, what do we need to get? Like, we need to also provide to give like the key, which is our token. So headers, here, like put authorization, what is this one, and the GitHub token. Okay, cool. After having this, now we need to go to use our get function. Okay, with the get function, we pass our URL and the header and the params. But for the moment, as I don't have anything here yet, I will just remove it. Okay. Okay, let's quickly do and print and see the response status code. If the status code is 200, it means that it is good. Okay, so let's quickly go and run it. Okay, cool. You can see that the status code is 200 here. And for example, if I try like to remove this one, I just want to simulate the status code, or maybe 404, I think. Yes, the 404 maybe. All right, so let's go back and put it back. This is the first endpoint. So to get the data, you should just use like the JSON, the JSON function here. Okay, now here we should just getting the data. And for this one, we can see that it's giving too much result. So we can filter the result using the params here. And we can do like per page, uh, page page one, maybe page 10. I don't want 10. I just want to put two. Two. Okay, that's it. So it's filtered per page, and for page we put only one. So scroll it down. All right, you can see here the result is been reduced. Okay, so for this one here, the params, we have the headers and the response and everything combined with the endpoint that we're using. So for example, using this one, this is the path parameter. The path parameter you should be using like this one should be the name of the repo you have and the owner. If you are the owner of the repo, you should be putting here. So let me go quickly and put mine. All right, so I'm gonna put mine here. Copy it from my GitHub account. Okay, that's it. I will see how many issues do I have like here. All right. Oh, okay. You can see I'm not hitting this endpoint. I want to hit this endpoint two. This I want to hit endpoint two, not the endpoint one. After this, I should also pass these programs here to be able to apply the parameter that I was using to reduce the number of results per page. Okay, not found means that there is something wrong here though. There is something wrong here with this endpoint. Like the endpoint is using this one. Okay, all right, no problem. Like is this is my the owner and this is my repo. Like get this one and let's try to see like to see the commits. Let's see the commits. Okay. Well, forums and commits. Okay. So not found. Maybe a problem with the. Like, let me get this one. I do to this. You have to make sure you're hitting the right one. And okay, let me try it again. Something is wrong here. Maybe you're not hitting the. Everything looks good here. Press your for the endpoint to Like if we hit endpoint 1, we're getting something. Try to hit the wrong. Yes, maybe something's wrong with this endpoint, and I think we should just verify it, and just hit it. Yes, all right. The endpoint we've been hitting is supposed to be a repo here. That's why we're not getting this one. So I think let's try to hit it again. Okay, we can see that we don't get any issue from here. So let's now get the maybe the commit. Yes. Okay, now let's use the params to filter our results. Like, all right. So okay, you can see it is reducing the number of page. Like, for example, if I try to hit the first one, then clean on, hit it, you can see it is now reduced very small. So this is the use of it, and you can try and play with it. And that's a very beginner video, and the advanced you can go for the pagination and everything. So this, make sure to read the documentation and get the right endpoints. Just hit it, you'll enjoy it. Thanks.